Hello there, YouTubers. This is the next video after the last one I just did on, I guess, that aggravated me a bit. I just put that movie out and now I'm coming to this movie. I found my chains. Can you tell where I paint them red at? So, I figure you guys watch just about everything I do, except for I gotta move you back because I can't get around the Kubota. Gotta put them out and paint them up because you can't see them when you drop them in the leaves. And these chains, if you go look up grade 80 chains, they're about $100 a pop. So I don't really want to lose them. And they're a lot easier to find, like when they break than if they're painted red. And the paint wears right off of them. You know, this probably won't last a month, but it'll be better than what it is right now. Stretch it out this way a little bit and kind of keep them close, then you get more spray, and I'll get my hands red. Oh, you know, I forgot to bring the red paint out. So we're going to go for a road trip. Here's that slip hook. These are, like I said, great. That's that hook that broke. And it actually looks like it might have been fatigued through here. You see where it's discolored? It might have already been on its way out from another pull. Somebody said there was a spot in here that looked bad. I'll kind of look at it when I go through. I mean, I know this. I broke this chain on a pull. You guys, it had to be on YouTube. Pulling those big stumps up that were over the other hill. It hit something. Here's a bent one. What does it take to bend a grade 80 chain? There's a couple of them bent. I don't see any other busted links. These are put together with two grade 8 bolts. I imagine grade 8 bolts is the same as a grade 80. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know, but I got two of them in there. And like I said, you can't see that because it's so wore down. But about every foot, there'll be a grading on a quality chain. You get down around the 43s and the lead chains. They don't have any. They don't have any stamping on them, some of them. But then you know it's junk. Truckers always grade 70, pretty much. And most of those are like anodized. This one here is still a little red, got a little rust on it. This is an 80 also. I like 80s, they don't seem to fail too much. So that's what we're going at. Speaking of failing, this truck, I don't know if you remember, I did a grab hook, a ground grabber, I don't know, review or something like that in the summer. This truck has not moved here since then because it does not start. Well, it starts, okay, but it doesn't start with a starter switch. You got to just jump it right at the starter. We're going to walk around to the back. Some people like long movies, some people don't like long movies, so I'm going to be putting long movies on to make the long movie people happy. The one guy that kind of talked to me, now I like comments, don't get me wrong, and I like suggestions, and I like helpful hints, but I don't like when you're sitting there going, you're an idiot because you did this, and the guy doesn't know what he's talking about. As the last camera went out, I was going to leave a word that's the definition of those people. Anyhow, where was I? But the guy gave a real good suggestion that you can make a long movie, and if somebody doesn't want to watch it, they can stop watching it. But if you make a short movie, you can't make any longer. That guy's pretty smart. So I'm trying to make longer movies, but there's a lot of situations like this where I would have edited this walk around the back or just made a 5-minute movie of painting those things. And instead of that, I wonder what I did with my paint. Maybe it's up in the truck. That's the trouble. You don't know what's going on. I gotta don't want to show you my code for getting in my house. I don't have keys to get in my house, so I got codes there. Don't see the paint in here. Oh, here's something I made. You know, and I would have showed you. Oh, I got to go turn the radio off before the announcers get a hold of me on this. Go. There it went out. because I'm just rambling on. I did this last night. I got this vise free, thrown away, so I got it. And here I made a mounting bracket, and I put a little, I cut the sides on it, and this basically just goes on top of here. I guess you guys all know that. And what this is going to do is I'm going to weld a 1-inch square pipe on that, and it'll go on the Kubota. So that's what I'm doing there. So I'm working on things, but I would like to do like a 5-minute, because that, you know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes on that, and I can't get anybody to teach me how to do that. And I was up at the, I guess we'll talk about the camera store. I went up to Best Buy, real nice people. The guy was very knowledgeable and helpful. And I said, you know, here's what I need a new camera for. Here's what I need. I need a camera that's kind of rough. There's a squirrel. I'd like to get rid of that. Uh-oh, got to get into... Oh, the wife left the garage open. I think the paint might be in the back of the black truck. Man, this ain't the first time I've tried to paint that stuff. This is where I like to go to, what do you call it? Editing. And editing out all this stupid stuff. I don't know what I do with my paint. You know, I get so senile now. I don't know what I do. It might be in the car. Look at this. Spring is almost here. Maybe the paint's in the back of these. I know I took it out of this. No, it ain't in there. Crap. That makes me so mad. I leave so many things in so many places. But see, I'm only at 6 minutes now. So I would turn this off, go find the paint, and then get back over there. But if I turn it off, okay, I can't put another 5-minute movie together with me painting the thing. So that was frustrating. And that's one thing I asked the guy at the camera place. Do you have a camera that can start and stop in the same film, so I don't have to, so the camera will edit for me instead of me having to edit? And he said no. Also got to take his goofy hat off. Put on a regular hat. That hat's hot. Not hot, it's heavy, a little heavy. I got no idea what I did with that paint. Man, it's tough getting senile. Well, this might be a 5-minute movie. What can I rattle on or dilly-dally about that we're just... I probably brought it in here though to keep it warm, because I don't like it getting too cold. Junk. Oh, I bought one of these. The other day for the little baby chainsaw. That thing works pretty good, but I didn't understand why it sharpened the height gauges more on one side than the other. Look at this, guys. I put it up in the paint department. Why would anybody ever put anything away where it's supposed to go? That's the stupidest thing. Why do you do that? Haven't checked the boiler since yesterday. Maybe I should go look at that. I mean, we're just making a half-hour movie of dilly-dally, I guess. I gotta shake the paint anyway. Can you hear it? We're going in here. Mousetrap is still there. One of my mousetraps took a walk when I was looking at it earlier today. I'll just glance in there. Nope, no mouse in that one. You know the strangest thing? I have not caught a mouse in my garage where we just looked at the black truck. Not all year long. I got 3 mouse traps in there. That's really weird. That's not too bad. It's nice and snow white, so I know it's burning clean. We got just a few coals down there. That's probably good for, I don't know, a few more hours. What kind of temperature are we at? We're running 192 right now. And nope, this one's running. That's a house. That one's been running a little bit. I went out and got a basket full of wood at the tops of those trees. And there's another basket there with the tops of the trees, and then that basket over there is slab wood that I want to get rid of, because I like these baskets for going and getting wood out of the woods. So, and I'm getting down to where I don't really want to run the boiler too much anymore. trying to wean the house off of the boiler, but price of fuel oil right now. There was one person that commented on, you know, all the prices of the equipment that you have, and you know, this, that, and the other thing that you have. You could have bought your oil for the rest of your life, and I don't know that the Bobcat that I run, well, all the equipment that I got does more than one thing. It's not just dedicated to firewood, okay? Number one. And number two, fuel oil right now is over $5 a gallon down here, guys. It came down a little bit. And I use 850 gallons. So do the math, then tack on another 12%, because your payroll, if you went out and made $100,000 to say salary, they're going to take taxes out of it in order to, well, they take taxes out of it. So you're talking gross figures and net figures. Now, I never did finish my camera story, did I? Well, we'll get back to the camera story. Might be a good story time. I can't get the camera in the tripod. That was one thing I asked for. Is I said, I want a magnetic tripod. Guy says, we ain't got one. Don't have, you know. It was kind of strange, some of the stuff that he had. But anyhow, I wanted a camera that could handle a harsh environment, okay? I wanted a camera that had the fuzzy mic so you don't catch the wind. I wanted a remote speaker so I could be walking around the sawmill and you guys could understand me, and I'm hoping you're not getting winded out here. So you could understand me. So he suggested a GoPro, but he says you can't get that speaker with a GoPro. Well, that speaker is pretty important around a sawmill. I think over the last couple of years watching my videos, I think to listen to me walk around when I walk away from the camera, I think a wireless speaker is a good thing to have. So then he says, well, if you want to go with that wireless speaker, you got to go with this camera over here. This camera over here it's not waterproof, it's not particularly dust proof, it's, you know, he says you have to get that. That's like $850, which I don't mind spending the money on something if I get what I want. I want a certain chain. I don't mind spending the money because I know what it can do. So the 850, yeah, it rattled this cheap boy back a little bit. But anyhow, because the camera that I'm using now, they had up there, that was I think 159, not 800. What did I say? The camera that would take that speaker was $850. The GoPro was around 500, I think he said. But then, and that transportable speaker, Mark had already told me that that's around 300 bucks. You know, there's prices around, so I didn't walk out with anything. I'm still working on this one. But I'm looking for something so you guys can hear me a little bit better and see what I'm doing. Maybe a little clearer picture. Might even invest in a tripod. This thing's been broken so many times. So anyhow, we'll put a little bit of paint on these things. I think that'll stick out better in the woods. That's the new chain. That's a 3/8. Well, it's not a new chain. That's the new one that I'm going to use to tackle that oak tree. Of course, the paint's going toward the camera. I can see paint on the lens. That's a real good move, John. Which way is the wind direction going? I have to look at my weather station. No, it's showing I was going in the right direction. Wind goes crazy directions here. Anyhow, let's see, where are we at here? Maybe I got to move you back a little bit further. I need one with a bigger screen so you can see what you're looking at. But we just, you know, the can of paint, I don't know, it was, I think it's about, it might have been $6 or $7. I don't know how much it was. But if you don't lose a $100 chain, I guess you're ahead of the game, aren't you? Trying to get it in on the other direction. I don't care if it gets it on the truck bed. This truck bed's kind of another thing that frustrates me. Everybody says, oh, you gotta have white oak, it doesn't rot, it doesn't rot. White oak rots, guys. This white oak here, it was dried, it was what do you call it, cured, and I put it together, put it on this thing, and then I put 2 or 3 coats of deck sealant on it. Figured, well, you know, give it a gusto, and you know, it was, I don't know how much it cost for that, but that's what we did there. And it's still got, there's some holes in there. You can't see them up here. There it is. There's some holes poking through. Okay, already rotted through. And this is only about 5 years old. Maybe it's older. I'd have to, I don't think I did a YouTube of that. Cutting the old, you know, I think I do have some videos that I have to see when I put this deck on. But so when I paint on there and gives it a little bit better surface. This silver here is the best surface. That's that roof paint. You can see that hole in there, and that particular board rotted, and there's another hole up in there. So it's kind of like when you put a fence board up and one will rot and the other ones don't. So we've painted the chains, and this shows you how much I drive this truck. See the bird's nest? I don't drive this truck that much. It's a work truck. When it goes out to do a job. The problem is between the starter switch and the starter. If I jump the starter, it goes. Oh, another thing. Remember me on a past video. If you're new here, there's all sorts of nonsense going on here, and I'm glad you stopped by if you're not a complainer. But I did some movies on the star. I did a yap about the starter, the John Deere starter not starting, click, and I showed where I found the wire. So I brought it up to the house that night and worked in the back because it was a nice temperature and I had enough light that I could see, and it wasn't raining, believe it or not. And so I went through all those wires, and it was one of those things where you have a wire here and a wire, 2 wires next to each other, and you clamp over it to take another wire off. You have one wire, you clamp over the one wire that you want, and then it goes off to another place, and it's a block of some sort, I don't know. So I opened that block up, and sure enough, inside of that block I found the wire was almost completely severed. There was like only 1 or 2 strands, which would just totally justify what it was doing. You know, it was hitting but not hitting hard enough. There just wasn't enough current going through that. So I fixed that, but then I also traced it down and found out that didn't have anything to do with the starter. Not a thing to do. It was, what they did was that John Deere tractor, they put the canopy on top of it instead of just the rollover bar thing, and there's lights on that canopy. So to take the lights from the fenders off to go up to the canopy, they just spliced into it. But I undid all that and soldered it. I do not like crimp joints. I like solder. I'm the old type guy that's going to solder the daggone thing. So I soldered that and fixed that. I haven't started the tractor since then. Maybe it'll start, maybe it don't. But that wires that I found had nothing to do with it. Look at this. Look at this paint. It's so fast drying. So now what we'll do, well, while you're still here, we're going to turn it over. You know how many times I've talked about sitting here on YouTube watching paint dry? Guess what, guys? You got me there. I knew I was going to get paint on me. The lower paint has, some of the lower stuff's got it on there. Should have put gloves on, mittens on, but sometimes you're just not that smart. Let's see, we can roll that one, roll that one. Like I said, it wears off so quick. I mean, it's not like I did a whole lot of prep to these chains. That's a shame about this chain breaking. I'll have to measure where the break is. And the lady at the store didn't know anything about what I was talking about the mechanical advantage doubling when you go through that grab hook, so it doubles the pull on the chain. I hope you guys understand that. I hope I'm telling you what I'm thinking is right. And maybe that's even more important. Oh, I got painted again. Oh well. see. Maybe that way would be better. I think so. You know me, I'm a mess. 100% mess. Hope you're out of the, let's see, I was going to go down and look at the weather vane again and see which way. I really don't want to cover this lens with red paint. Shake it up a little bit. We don't want to shake it up too much. If it stays settled down, it'll be thicker paint, right? Cloudy day, windy. Well, the wind's going away from the camera, so that's a good thing. Go in from this side a little bit. Gotta get them closer together. That doesn't look like it flipped over good. Probably already painted it and didn't know it. No, it's better that way. Little paint remover, little parts cleaner will take that paint off of me, won't it? So now you're actually watching paint dry on my channel. Maybe that should be the name of this one. Watching paint dry. I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Then we're going to go down. I had a story about the mailbox a long time ago, and I said I was going to tell a story about it. So this is story time and killing time and not too much exciting time. It's supposed to rain. I might do a 5-minute movie tonight, a clickbait movie. I don't know when it'll come in. I do the videos and I stack them away and I lose them. I've been cleaning up videos the last few days, trying to get rid of some old nonsense. Boy, that just really doesn't matter, does it? We're gonna go down and look at the mailbox. That'd be a good killing time to get it up to 30 minutes. You watch the paint dry. We had a problem with mailbox. In the country, they do baseball mailboxing or something like that. I don't know. Where they take a woo, paint got to me. They're getting ready to put asphalt down here in the driveway, which is got more negatives about it than positives. But that's a fight between the wife and I ain't gonna win. I think I might have told the story about this asphalt here. Probably run out of time. There's the mailbox. That's my mailbox. Built that. People would come by and smash the mailbox, smash the mailbox, smash the mailbox. And so I finally said, well, I'll build one they won't smash. So that's what it was. I'll build a mailbox that they won't smash. And it's been hit a few times. They'll come down here and you'll see dings in it from time to time. The paint's getting wore off. It's pink. It's a pink mailbox, and I just kind of put that on there recently because I didn't like the mailbox not being able to be seen. I put these little stripes here, just kind of leftover junk. But if you start looking at this mailbox, okay, this is 1/4-inch steel. This is 1/4-inch steel. Okay, so and the bottom is 1/4-inch. So right here it's a 1/2 inch thick, and here it's a 1/2 inch thick. And the reason that is because I'm not a welder. This is before Jeff time. This is years and years ago. If I welded these onto here and weld this onto here, then the side would be straight. This here is extruded steel out of an oxygen cylinder. You're not going to get any stronger than that. And that's probably, that might be, it only looks to be a 1/4 inch, but that's probably the strongest steel. This is just 1/2 inch square thing that I bent around there. The lid is 1/4 inch, and it was so heavy I had to put a spring on it. So that's what the spring on it is. And it's on a and the back is also 1/2 inch, or no, 1/4 inch. These I bought a whole, don't know who that is, probably a neighbor. These I bought a whole bottle of swirls. A bushel basket of swirls at an auction years ago for $5, and I've used them everywhere. So that's what those are. This is just standard pipe, okay? But it's sitting on top. It fit perfectly over a tractor trailer torsion bar, which is like heavy duty, super strong. You don't have to worry about it, in my opinion. And then it goes down in, and it's sitting in a yard of concrete, okay, with spurs welded onto it, so it's not just gonna hit it a couple times and pull it out. Now when you look at it this way, I think maybe this one doesn't do it. It's got some hearts on it. It's supposed to say kind of JC. The other one I built another one of these identical to it, almost identical, but you can see the JC on it a lot better. But all those little scroll things look neat. And everybody in the neighborhood is getting their mailboxes clobbered. This is, back in the early 90s. And I think we had 4 of them knocked out. We found one of them 5 miles up the road where they ran over it. They come around this corner and lose control and would run over the mailbox. And the mailbox was found 5 miles up the road. It still had mail in it though. They didn't steal the mail. But what was I saying? Anyhow, the neighbors, saw that their mailboxes were still getting hammered because the people would come down the street and just hammer one right after another, or baseball bat them or whatever they do. And I always said I'd pay a few bucks to watch somebody hit that one in the back of a pickup truck. It's been hit, but the neighbors all, how come your mailbox never gets smashed and ours does? Is it your husband smashing them? And that was kind of a joke around. Well, go glom onto the mailbox and you'll see why ours never gets smashed. But I built another one identical years ago when I was working down in Montgomery County, and they wanted a mailbox. And does anybody know how to build a mailbox? I said, yeah, I can build you a mailbox. Mailbox for the county. This is no lie. That thing cost $1,400 to build. $1,400. Because, go out and get what you need. Go out and get what you need. Go out and get what you need. And I still had some of those swirls and stuff on there, so I put those swirls on there. And here I'm building this King Kong mailbox. And I had helpers. You had helpers that had to get paid too. Most of the money was in salary. And it was so funny as I was building the one identical to this for it's at Montgomery County Public Schools, Randolph Road Depot. If you're ever down that way, you can look it up. And different address though. Everybody get, what color are you going to paint it? What color are you going to paint it? And I said, I want to paint it pink. And they all looked at me and laughed, laughed. I painted it pink. The story behind the pink was, I wanted to paint it red with a target on there. Because, hey man, try me out, man, hit me. And my wife got all upset about that. You can't do that, you can't do that, you can't do that. I said, sure I can. I can paint it red with a target on there. I want them to hit it. I want to watch them. I want to see them hurt themselves. No. So I'm going to go out and find a nice color. So she goes out and finds this color, and she comes back, and here it is. It's Judy Rose. It's not pink. It's Judy Rose. And it's Victorian, which our house is kind of Victorian. I guess you can see up there. And I just said, it's freaking pink. So, but it's been pink ever since, and I don't really care. She's the one that takes care of it now. I just got to take the letters off so she can paint it from time to time. So that's kind of the story on the mailbox. I think I had another story I was supposed to tell you, and I forget what it was. I'm kind of forgetful nowadays, but that's the old, I guess you could run over and you could hurt it, but you're going to get hurt too if you run over that thing. I guess you know my address now too, don't you? But you don't know what street I live on. Not that it matters. If you came by, I'd probably tell you hi and sit down and have a chat. Kind of like, who used to tell the best stories was Mike McCoy. And I saw their sawmill finally moved out to a new home, which is kind of sad. It's kind of lost for an era. So hats off to you, Mike, for telling the best stories ever, that ever were. If you don't know Mike McCoy, he is a sawyer, I think, down in North or South Carolina that just enjoyable to watch. And he passed away, might be a couple years back now. So anyhow, this movie's coming to an end because when I hit 30 minutes, this camera automatically shuts off. I'm glad you stopped by again. I'm not sure when I'm going to put this on. I hope to attack that tree tomorrow. So thanks for being along. Thanks for listening to the stories. And thanks for really watching paint dry. We'll see you guys. Bye.